Hi YouTube, this is Keisha, the Goodbye Girl VSG. This is week 24 video, and I apologize. I did make week 22 and 23 videos, and I look online tonight and I cannot find them. So I don't know if they didn't post, but I was wondering why I hadn't heard from anybody. Usually I have a few people that I speak back and forth to, and so anyway, I don't know what happened there, but I have been around. So I guess I'm going to try and combine a few weeks here and catch you up. For stat people, I had my surgery 2016, August 29th, 2016 in Monterey, California. I started out at 292 pounds and I'm currently at 132. I'm sorry, 232. I wish. I'm not Wonderland yet. Anyway, for those of you who have maybe not seen my videos before, I recently moved 2 weeks ago to Los Angeles, moved to a big city. I made a huge life change 5 to 6 months after having VSG surgery, which probably was not the best idea. It has definitely caused some issues in my weight loss to have made such a big dramatic change to my life. So I've had a couple stalls that I've talked to you about. The move did end my stall, but the last 2 weeks since I've gotten here, I think just living kind of out of all these boxes and not really having a rhythm or routine, and you know, just sort of camping a little bit at first, as well as, you know, going out with friends who are trying to show me the city and, you know, socializing more. I've had a combination of things that have caused me to, I'm not going to call it a stall. The last 2 weeks have really been more like self-inflicted because I chose to let my guard down a little bit, and I've had a few drinks and I've had some healthy carbs, but still more carbs than I should have to lose weight. So I would say that the stalls have caused me to lose a little bit of my focus on my diet. So, and maybe a little bit of my belief in myself that I can do it. So I'm going to call this video Getting Back to the 10 Commandments of Weight Loss. I would say that for me, being close to the 6-month mark is kind of like the 7-year itch of marriage. Even though I'm not married, I just feel like you're in that middle ground where you're a little more satisfied. Like, I'm not as fat as I was. I've worked on my weight. I feel better and I look better, but I'm not where I need to be. But I have gotten a little bored with the routine of dieting and denying myself and that kind of stuff. So I feel like it's just easier to make bad choices now for me. And I define myself less by being a weight loss patient than I did in the beginning, especially now because I've moved away from my support group and you know, the people that I knew and my doctors and everything. I'm just away from all that stuff that makes me, keeps me in the game with, you know, weight loss and the weight loss community. So you guys being out there and still present in my life is really important. So I don't want to make this video too long in the beginning because I want to get down to my message. I'm not going to talk about myself as much, but just to say that I realize that I've let things creep back into my diet that are keeping me from having the kind of success that I want. I really want to try and lose like 8 pounds a month like I've been able to do in the past, and I know that I have a limited amount of time to milk that kind of weight loss. So I really need to pull myself back from the brink and not fall back into my old patterns. I wouldn't say that my food addiction has reared its ugly head, but I see it trying to peek out a little bit. And so I was asking myself today, like, what is it that, you know, like I don't feel like I need to be necessarily as careful because of my sleeve. Like when I first had surgery, I'm not afraid anymore to eat or drink anything, but I need to be more afraid of myself vulnerability wise into foods that are slider foods, that make you start eating things that you shouldn't eat. So I'm gonna just put out there what I consider to be the 10 most important aspects of weight loss that kept me successful when I was losing weight and doing really well. These are the things I did that I feel like I am not doing 100% anymore that I want to get back to. And if you guys can glean anything from that, please know this is a personal list. I do feel like these are things that if you did them, it's certainly going to be helpful for anyone, but there's going to be people out there that can get away with things that maybe I can't. So this may not be your list, but for anyone that's thinking about having surgery, I think these are things that you start out doing. So this video might be a repeat of things you already plan on doing or are doing, but for other people that have been in the game longer, these are the things that we need to, just like, you know, the other 10 commandments. They're just classic things that always work. And when you're having trouble like I am right now, they're a good thing to focus on to get back in the game. So number 1, it's the classic water. And, you know, drinking water. I've almost come to think of my water isn't really water, because I've just gotten this amazing, like these drops that I put in my drink, and they're passion fruit and orange. And I've gotten really to the point where, like, that's just my drink, you know. I love it, and I drink it with ice every day. And I don't really like get a bottle of water and just drink water, because I never really enjoyed plain old water unless I was working out and genuinely like super thirsty. It just isn't that much fun. So the water that I make kind of tastes more like a Snapple, but there's no sugar in it. So I'm going to show you my little thing here. I've got my little, I don't know what you call this thing, but it's my drink cup. I have never had a problem drinking with a straw, and I work in a hair salon, so this thing keeps the hair out of my drink, and I just think that it works really well for me, and it makes it really easy to drink. So I get 2 of these in a day, and 3 if I'm lucky. But I really should be shooting for 3 a day, because I think they're 33 ounces, so having 3 would be awesome. Number 2, protein, 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 protein. There's some slider foods for me. I've let edamame and some beans and garbanzo beans and things like that get into my diet. And when I eat those things, I just don't lose weight. So are they unhealthy? No. Would my doctor say they're good for you? Yes. If I was trying to maintain my weight, could I eat them? Yes. But certainly no grains for me, no white things. So protein is my number 1 food source. Secondary, which I'm going to move to number 3, is vegetables and fruit. Anything other than fruits and vegetables and protein, and, you know, dairy that's protein, I just shouldn't be eating it while I'm trying to lose weight. That's just, you know, that's what I've gotten into is, you know, going and having like a poke salad with some edamame and cucumber and green onions and the raw fish and some kale or salad greens and all that. And then on the bottom, a little bit of brown rice. Like, that seems really healthy, right? It's not a hamburger, it's not a pizza, but for me, it's a weight loss killer. So I just can't have any white things. I can't have any sugar. I can't have, and I shouldn't say can't have, I should not have in order to have success. So it's not like, oh, I can't have it. It's just that I'm making the choice not to have it because I feel like it doesn't work for me and my goals. So protein is number 2. Number 3 is fruits and vegetables. And I personally weigh my protein out. I don't let myself have any more than 4 ounces per serving, but I don't weigh my fruits and vegetables. I feel like if I can eat a lot of kale or salad or vegetables, then that's good for you. And as long as you don't have a bunch of sauce on it, then I just eat till I'm, you know, comfortably full. So that's how I do it. Number 4, eat small amounts often. I tend to not eat in the morning. I tend to eat a little bit of protein drink in the morning and then not eat until about noon and have a little bit then. And then I don't eat until dinner time. Like, I'll eat 300 calories all day and then have like a big dinner. And that's just a recipe for disaster for me. And I need to eat every 3 to 4 hours, and I need to limit that amount to 3 to 4 grams of protein. If I'm going to eat that often, if I'm going to eat every 3 hours, it needs to be like 2 or 3 ounces of protein. I really get hungry enough where I could eat 3 or 4, so that might be overdoing it on the calories. Anyway, that's just my rule. So water, protein, fruits and vegetables, eat small amounts. Number 5 is eat small amounts, eat every 3 or 4 hours. So I guess that was 5. Stay focused. Number 6. I'm guilty of this. I need to remind myself every day what my goals are so that I don't lose focus. I think knowing why you are choosing to eat healthy and reminding yourself the reasons why you are making this life choice is important to keep that at the forefront of your mind. So when you are in a social situation, or you are at a party, or you're, you know, at a Super Bowl thing and someone offers you something that isn't in line with your goals, like, you know, here, have some chips, or here, have a beer, you know, yes, all that stuff is so good. I mean, who doesn't love that? But for me, letting my hand dip into the bowl of the chips or having a beer, you know, just hasn't allowed me the kind of weight loss that I want to have. So I've got to stop doing that stuff. Next, take your vitamins. This sounds like a no-brainer, I know, but when you've been at this game a little while, it's really easy when you get busy to, if you feel good like me and you have energy, it's like, I don't need to take my vitamins, or I don't need to take 2 multis. 1 is fine. I don't know why. I just find myself making a lot of excuses. So everything I'm talking about is like the stuff you do every day, and it just works better. Your life is just happier if you drink your water, eat your protein, eat small amounts more often, you know, take your vitamins. It's just better for you than not doing those things. The next rule is for me, after protein and water, is, you know, no alcohol. This is like the hardest thing for me. I love going out and being with friends and being social and meeting for a drink. And I'm not a heavy drinker. I might even just have one, but I love a Moscow Mule or a glass of bubbles and stuff. But, you know, the choices that I make alcohol-wise usually involve bubbles, beer, champagne, Moscow Mules, gin and tonics. You know, those aren't really good for you. And alcohol is sugar, let's face it. So I've been going there. And, you know, 1 or 2 times a week is really a way that I found to maintain my weight, but I'm not losing weight. So no alcohol. That's a big one. Next, I think I'm at number 8, is move more. You know, like the water, every day you have to wake up and say, like, you know, what's my plan for getting in my water? What's my plan for getting in my exercise? Because if you don't plan to drink your water and you don't plan to move, you're probably not going to get in enough to lose weight. Okay, number 9, carbs. I keep them under 40 grams when I'm successful. When I am more like 60 grams a day, that means things are getting into my diet that aren't weight loss friendly. So I stopped numbering these, but, you know, again, these are so basic, but just for me, they're the things that I'm going to make a promise to do. Drink more water, eat protein-based meals, eat small amounts, eat every 3 to 4 hours, eat enough fruits and vegetables, stay focused on my goals, maybe having it written down somewhere, and spending a moment of like quiet reflection during the day to really focus in on if I'm meeting my goals that day. Taking your vitamins, avoiding alcohol, moving more, and keeping your carbs low, and not eating any, you know, really any sugar of any form except for fruit. Fruit, if you can eat fruit and your body does not treat it as sugar, then I think you should eat it. You know, it's a real food. God gave it to us. It is a great source of fiber. So if you can get away with the fruit, do the fruit. If you can't, then don't do the fruit. But this is my next week. This is what I want to be doing. And I hope you'll join me on getting back on track. I hope next week I'll have some weight loss and some success to report to you. And weight loss is a bitch. It's never easy. And so we all have to come together and cheer each other on to do this. You know, it's a hard thing sometimes because it's something that requires constant attention and consistency and discipline. And those things are tough to find sometimes when your life isn't always going as planned. So this is the Goodbye Girl VSG. I'm still wanting to be the goodbye girl and say goodbye to my old life. And that's where that name comes from. I want to say goodbye to the person I was and the way that I lived my life. And I am embracing the new me now. I will see you next week and reporting back on my progress. Hope you do well. Have a great week too. Bye.